producer Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to last night and out to Jack Benny's house, where the whole gang has gathered for rehearsal.
Rochester, has everybody arrived for rehearsal?
Yes, sir. They're all in the library.
Good. Well, I'm ready.
Yes, sir. Mr. Jack Benny, everybody rise. The first rehearsal of the 26th program of the Lucky Strike series is now in session.
Good evening, Miss Livingston.
Good evening, Mr. Benny.
Good evening, Mr. Wilson.
Good evening, Mr. Benny.
Good evening, Mr. Harris.
Good evening, Mr. Benny. Gee, what's happened since I went away?
Another outburst like that, and I'll have the room cleared. Now, raise your right hand and repeat after me. Mr. Harris, it's your other hand. Now, repeat after me. I do solemnly swear.
I do solemnly swear
that I will not divulge or repeat.
that I will not divulge or repeat
Any routines, ideas, or jokes herein contained.
any routines, ideas, or jokes herein contained.
And if I do, may I be farmed out till life can be beautiful.
And if I do, may I be farmed out till life can be beautiful.
You may all be seated. Rehearsal is now in session. And now, to facilitate the reading of the script, will everybody please remove their paper clips? Good. Rochester, collect them, count them, and straighten the bench line.
Yes, sir.
We will now commence the rehearsal with the opening introduction by Mr. Wilson. Mr. Wilson, if you please.
Thank you.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Benny.
Just a moment, Mr. Wilson. What is it, Mr. Harris?
Well, I'd like to propose an amendment to joke 4 on page 6.
Why?
Because it stinks.
I see. Mr. Harris has expressed an opinion that joke 4 on page 6 has an aromatic quality which is not pleasant. We will take a vote. Miss Livingston?
I agree.
Mr. Wilson?
I agree.
Mr. Day?
I can't tell. I have a cold.
Motion passed. And now we will proceed...
Oh, Jack, for heaven's sake, this is silly.
What?
Why do we have to go through this every time we have a rehearsal? Why can't we rehearse like we used to?
Because everybody took advantage of it. You come in late, you wouldn't pay attention, you sat around reading newspapers instead of scripts. That's why.
But, Jack, you can't rehearse this way. You've got to loosen up. After all, this is a comedy program.
Oh, what she said.
Dennis.
Well, Libby's right, Jackson. We can't be funny when we're so formal and stiff.
Phil, you're the only one that comes in stiff. That's why we're rehearsing this way. Remember, I'm the star.
I'm a star. I'm a star.
Quiet, Polly.
Quiet, Polly. Quiet, Polly.
Polly, if you don't keep quiet, I'm going to... You know what?
Oh, Jack, not again.
What does he do, Libby?
Every time the Polly talks back to him, he takes her out of the cage, opens the front door, and hands her a road map to Capistrano.
Mary.
That's the only parrot registered with the Automobile Club.
Never mind. Let's get started with the rehearsal. Now, here's the way the show will run. We'll do our usual opening spot, a band number, and then Dennis's songs.
Sandwiches, hard-boiled eggs, and Coca-Cola. Get your sandwiches, hard-boiled eggs, and Coca-Cola here.
Oh, yes.
I'll have a roast beef.
Here you are. Thank you.
And now we'll...
Hard-boiled eggs, cooked fresh this morning, roast beef sandwiches.
I'll have a hard-boiled egg.
Here you are. Thank you.
And now we'll...
May I have a paper napkin, please?
Yes, ma'am. Here you are. Thank you.
And now we'll...
Will you have a sandwich, Mr. Day?
Yes, please.
Here you are.
I'll have to re-educate this kid. He got his food free in the Navy. And now we'll go...
Let's call for sandwiches, hard-boiled eggs, and Coca-Cola. Eggs and Coca-Cola! Eggs and Coca-Cola!
All right, kid, we'll start the rehearsal with the introduction. No, we better...
Oh, Jack, let's start somewhere so we can get through. We're all going to the movies.
Yeah, Jackson, we're going down to see that new picture, The Road to Utopia.
Oh, yeah. Say, maybe I'll go with you. I'd like to see what Crosby looks like with his collar open. Anyway, kids, we can't go till after rehearsal. I don't know what you want to go to the movies for anyway. There hasn't been a good picture since the horn blows at midnight. Quiet, Polly. You didn't even see it.
Maybe Walter Pigeon told her.
Yeah, Walter Pigeon. He flies by here every day. Now, listen, kid, let's get one thing straight. My rehearsals are more important than going to the movies. I'm sick of the movies anyway.
Oh, Jack, you always take the movies this time of the year because you never win the Academy Award.
Mary, that has nothing to do with it. Comedy pictures get very little consideration. I found out one thing. To win an Academy Award, you got to do a picture with absolutely no laugh.
Well, your darn one last year made it.
You got the idea. I don't mind when you ball up a lousy gag, but that was such a good one. Anyway, my next picture will...
Sandwiches, hard-boiled eggs, and Alabama pennants.
Alabama pennants?
Yeah, we have left over from the Rose Bowl game.
Rochester, save those. Alabama may be out here again.
Okay.
Boy, did I take a beating on those. Tried everything. I even had Rochester sitting on a bale of cotton. Now, come on, kids. Let's get going with this rehearsal. Don, take it from
Jack, I've been looking all through the script, and I don't see any place where I do a commercial.
Oh, that. Well, Don, I got a big surprise for you, and it'll be terrific on our show.
What is it, Jack?
Well, get this, kid. Now, Polly, what has Daddy been teaching you all week? No, Polly. No. That you picked up yourself. Now, listen. LS, MFT.
LS.
MFT.
Hi, Barney.
No. Take it again, Polly. LS.
LS.
MFT.
MFT.
Now, put them all together, and what have you got?
Mother.
Polly, how can you be so dumb? Every week you listen to the radio, you hear the commercials. Now, what do you hear?
Poor Miriam.
Now, listen, Polly, listen. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Come on. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco.
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco.
So round, so firm, so fully packed.
LS, MFT.
We're past that.
Hi, Barney.
Polly. Now, look, Polly, listen. So round, so firm, so fully packed.
So round.
So firm.
So firm.
So fully packed.
Hi, Barney.
No. I got a good notion to yank you out of that cage and...
I'm the first fully packed. So easy. I'm the door.
It works every time. Well, kids, that takes care of the commercial.
If he teaches that bird how to sing, I'm back in the Navy.
Well, as a warning to all of you, she's learning fast. Now, kids, let's rehearse the scene right after...
Oh, Jack, why can't we rehearse tomorrow morning? It's getting late. We want to go to the movies.
Well, all right. But, Dennis, before you go, run over your song. I'm going up to bed. So long, kids. I'll see you in the morning.
So long, Jackson.
Go on.
Yes, I do. To me.
Here you are, boss. I got your bed turned down.
Thanks. Rochester, please untie my shoes, will you?
Your shoes?
Yeah. I do it myself, but Benny's back and Lumbago's got him. Hey, did you hear that? Benny's back and Lumbago's got him. Hey, Rochester, do you think I should use that joke on my program tomorrow?
No.
Well, that's all I need for Rochester. Good night.
Good night, boss.
Look what time it is. 8:30. That's funny. I'm not even sleepy. I think I'll sit up for a while and read a book. This see. Here's one. Clara Klingenpeel, girl bricklayer. Oh, I read that. Here's another one. I married a smudge pot. See, that was a hot one. I remember that one. Here's another one. Your darn one last near made it. I thought I read that just a couple of minutes ago. I wonder if... Say, wait a minute. Here's a book I haven't read. I Stand Condemned by Maximilian Q. Langley. I Stand Condemned. Gee, that's an exciting title. I think I'll read this book. Chapter 1. I Stand Condemned. I'm what you call an average citizen. I come from a little town in the Midwest. Yes, I'm married. I have a lovely wife, and we have 3 fine boys and a dog. George, Frank, Harry, and Rover. Harry is the dog. My life, as the lives of most men, followed a course pointed out by the fickle finger of fate. Fickle finger of fate. See, this guy's a classy writer. Most stories start at the beginning, but my story begins at the end. I am occupying a cell in the death row at the state penitentiary. I'm innocent. I'm innocent, I tell you. Let me out of here. Oh, Warden. Warden.
Yes?
Warden, you've got to let me out of here. I'm innocent. Do you hear? Innocent. In a few minutes, they're going to execute me. What time do I go to the chair?
5:30.
Good. Then I won't have to listen to Fred Allen. Oh, what am I saying? Warden, I tell you, it wasn't my fault. I don't want to go to the electric chair.
Now, calm down. Our barber's a little rushed today, so I'll shave your head myself.
But what?
Sit still. I'll start with the scissors.
Take it easy around the sideburns, please.
Yes, sir.
Manicure?
No, thank you.
It's, on the house, you know.
Oh, manicure, please. Wait a minute. Let me out of here. I don't want to go to the electric chair. I won't leave this room. I can't walk that last mile.
Oh, you won't have to. We'll bring the electric chair in here.
What?
We have a long cord, you know.
Warden, if you only listen to my story, I know you'll believe me.
Oh, very well. What is your story?
Well, Warden, it goes back a long, long time. I would have led a normal life except for the fickle finger of fate. The warden listened to my story. I told him how I met the man who was responsible for my undoing. I was walking down the street. I had just left my office and was going home to my 3 wonderful children, Manny, Mo, and Jack. We had Manny and Jack and felt that we should have one Mo. Anyway, I was walking along, and suddenly a figure stepped out of the shadow. He was a small man with a round face. He reminded me somewhat of Peter Lorre. And when he spoke, his voice, too, reminded me of Peter Lorre. He tapped me on the shoulder and said,
Pardon me, sir, but may I trouble you for a match?
A match? I'm sorry, I don't have one, but I'll let you use my cigarette lighter.
Thank you. You're very kind.
Hey, you, come back with that lighter. Give me that.
All right. Here's your lighter.
I thought you just wanted to light a cigarette.
I do, but my cigarette is home.
Oh, yeah? right, then why were you running toward the railroad station?
My home is in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Yes. I married a smudge pot.
Smudge pot. Now, wait a minute. You were trying to steal my cigarette lighter.
No, I wasn't. As a matter of fact, I'd like to buy it. I'll give you $20,000 for it.
$20,000? Well, I don't want to take advantage of you. I'll tell you what. I'll throw in an extra flint.
Thank you, sir. Well, here's the money.
$20,000 gift. Well, so long, mister. I hope you enjoy the lighter.
Oh, just a moment. I also admire that necktie you are wearing.
My necktie? I know it sounds fantastic, but he bought my tie for $17,000. And then he bought my shirt, my shoes, and my suit. And I gave him my last-ditch clothing, this mysterious stranger. Handed me $194,000 and 2 balloons. Having no clothes, I blew up the balloons and danced my way home. The next day, I met the little man for a second time. Again, he gave me fabulous prices for my clothes, and again, I danced my way home. On the third day, the same thing happened. I was not only getting richer, but I was dancing better. Our daily meetings were more than a mere coincidence. A bond developed between us. 2 weeks later, I was sitting in the kitchen having breakfast with my wife and my 3 lovely children, Anaheim, Azusa, and Cuca. The little man had not yet come downstairs. Yes, he was living with us.
Come on, children, finish your breakfast.
That's right, children. Eat every bit of it.
But, Daddy, I'm tired of this silly old caviar. Why can't we have oatmeal like we used to?
Because we're rich, that's why. Now, hurry up or you'll be late for school. Where's Junior?
Oh, he's out in the backyard making mud pies out of butter.
For heaven's sake, doesn't he know he's going to ruin his mink overalls? Anyway, he's been out there long enough. Junior, get ready for school.
Oh, Daddy, I don't want to go to that new school.
I bought it and you'll go to it. Now get ready.
You know, darling, things just haven't been the same since that stranger came to live with us. He frightens me. There's something weird about him.
You know, I've been feeling the same.
Quiet, here he comes now.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Did you sleep well?
Yes, I did. Sit down.
Thank you. I'm sorry I'm late for breakfast, but I overslept. I was out in a party last night.
A party? Well, how do you feel this morning? Oh, well, have some tomato juice.
Yes, I'll get you some.
Well, you know I envy you two. Oh, a beautiful home and lovely children.
Haven't you any children?
No, I married a smudge pot.
Oh, then you have no children.
No, but we are lousy with oranges. By the way, I don't feel I should live here any longer without paying you rent. How much do you want?
Well, I'm no good at these things. Let's forget it.
Oh, no, I insist. Would $1 million a week be enough?
Well, with or without meals?
Oh, with meals.
That'll be $3 extra.
I'll be glad to pay for it.
Things like this were happening every day. Pat gone money, Pat. Money. My wife left me. And so did my 3 lovely children. Atchison, Topeka, and Irving. They ran off with a Harvey girl. I didn't care I had my money. I'd accumulated millions of dollars, which I kept in my shoes. I was now 11 feet 6. I begged the OPA to raise the ceiling. One day, as I was sweeping some loose change under the rug, he came in.
Now cut that out! Hello, my friend. I have a present for you. A brand new $10,000 bill.
$10,000 bill. Let me have it. Give it to me quick. I gotta have it.
All right, but be careful how you handle it. The ink is still wet.
Don't worry. The ink is still wet. Wait a minute. You mean you've been printing this money yourself?
Certainly doesn't everybody.
Oh, so that's it. I must have been blind not to see through this whole scheme. My life is ruined. I've lost my wife and my 3 lovely children. Sarah, Toga, and Trunk. I thought I was rich. But I haven't got a tie or a shirt or a suit. All I got is money, 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 and all counterfeits. You've even got my cigarette lighter, and I, like a fool, threw in an extra flint.
Yes, you are a fool. Do you think I'd really pay $17,000 for a necktie? $22,000 for your button shoes?
Now, wait a minute.
Yes, you are a fool. Do you think I'd give you $500 for a dinner when I could get the same thing at Ciro's for $400?
Zero!
Of course that money was counterfeit.
And those balloons you gave me weren't any good either. They broke on the Sunset bus and embarrassed me. And for all this time, you've been nothing but a counterfeit.
What's the difference? We can still do business. I can print the money, and you can get rid of it for
Never. I'll kill you first. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kill you.
Get your hands up. My throat. Take them away. Don't kill me. I'll give you back your clothes.
My clothes? What good are they now? You've had the pants short. Coat taken in. You even cut off the belt from the back.
Stop choking. Why must I always die at the end?
Yes, I killed him. And as I finished telling my story, the warden looked at me and said,
It's 5:30. Shall we go?
Yes.
And so, as I walked through the little green door, I thought of my 3 lovely children. Fickle, Finger, and Faith. I stand condemned. Gee, what a swell book. That guy's a great writer. Fickle Finger of Faith. I gotta remember that.
Back over back in just a minute. The first is my good friend, F.E. Boone. 49, American.
In a cigarette, it's the tobacco that counts. Yes, it takes fine tobacco to make a fine cigarette. And Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Independent tobacco experts, auctioneers, buyers, and warehousemen present at the tobacco auctions can see just who buys what tobacco. They can see the makers of Lucky Strike consistently select and buy fine, light, naturally mild tobacco. Yes, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. And this fine Lucky Strike tobacco means more real, deep-down smoking enjoyment for you. So smoke that smoke of fine tobacco, Lucky Strike.
The famous tobacco auctioneers are on tonight's program are Mr. F.E. Boone of Lexington, Kentucky.
49, American.
And Mr. L.A. Speed Riggs of Goldsboro, North Carolina. This is Basil Rysdale speaking for Lucky Strike. LSMFT, LSMFT, LSMFT.
Yes, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. So smoke that smoke of fine tobacco, Lucky Strike. so round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
Ladies and gentlemen, next Sunday we'll be with you again, broadcasting from the permanent Army Air Base at Marchfield. Well, Peter Lorre, I want to thank you very much for appearing on my program tonight.
It's a pleasure to be here, Jack.
I may not see you later, so I want to pay you for your performance right now. Here you are, $3,000.
Oh, thank you very much.
Be careful how you handle it. The ink is still wet. Good night.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
Suspense. Autolite and its 60,000 dealers and service stations bring you radio's outstanding theater of thrills. Starring tonight, Miss Agnes Moorehead in Anton Leder's production of Lucille Fletcher's famous suspense play, Sorry, Wrong Number. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Oh, dear.
Your call, please.
Operator, I've been dialing Murray Hill 40098 now for the last 3/4 of an hour, and the line is always busy. I don't see how it could be busy that long. Will you try it for me, please?
I will be glad to try that number for you. One moment, please.
I don't see how it could be busy all this time. It's my husband's office. He's working late tonight, and I'm here all alone in the house. My health is very poor, and I've been feeling so nervous all day.
Ringing Murray Hill 40098.
Hello?
Hello? Hello, is Mr. Stevenson there?
Hello? Hello? Hello, George? Yes, sir. This is George speaking.
Hello, who's this? What number am I calling, please?
I'm here with our client, George. Oh, good. Is everything okay? Is the coast clear for tonight? Yes, George. He says the coast is clear for tonight. Okay. Where are you now? In a phone booth. Don't worry. Everything's okay. Very well. You know the address. I know. At 11 o'clock, the private patrolman goes around to the bar on 2nd Avenue for a beer. That's right, 11 o'clock. Okay. Now, be sure that all the lights downstairs are out. There should be only one light visible from the street. Okay. Oh, just a minute, George. Our client tells me that at 11:15 a train crosses the bridge. It makes a noise in case her window's open and she should scream.
Oh, hello. What number is this, please?
Okay, I understand. That's 11:15, the train. Yeah. You remember everything else, George? Yes, I'll make it quick. As little blood as possible. Because our client does not wish to make her suffer long. That's right. You'll use a knife? Yes, the knife will be okay. Then afterwards I remove the rings and bracelets and the jewelry in the bureau drawer because our client wishes it to look like simple robbery. Don't worry. Everything's okay. I never...
Oh, how awful. How unspeakably awful.
Your call, please.
Operator, I've just been cut off.
I'm sorry. What number were you calling?
Why, it was supposed to be Murray Hill 40098, but it wasn't. Some wires must have got crossed. I was cut into a wrong number, and I've just heard the most dreadful thing, something about a murder. And, Operator, you simply got to retrace that call at once.
I beg your pardon. May I help you?
Oh, I know it was the wrong number, and I had no business listening, but these two men, they were cold-blooded fiends, and they were going to murder somebody, some poor innocent woman who was all alone in a house near a bridge. And we've got to stop them. We've just got to.
What number are you calling, please?
Well, that doesn't matter. This was a wrong number, and you dialed it for me, and we've got to find out who what was immediately.
What number did you call?
Oh, why are you so stupid? What time is it? Do you mean to tell me you can't find out what that number was just now?
I'll connect you with the chief operator.
Oh, I think it's perfectly shameful. Now, look, it was obviously a case of some little slip of the finger. I told you to try Murray Hill 40098 for me, and you dialed it, but your finger must have slipped, and I was connected with some other number. And I could hear them, but they couldn't hear me. Now, I simply fail to see why you couldn't make that same mistake again, on purpose. Why you couldn't try to dial Murray Hill 40098 in the same sort of careless way.
Murray Hill 40098. I will try to get it for you.
Well, thank you.
I am sorry. Murray Hill 40098 is busy. I will call you in 20
Operator!
Your call, police.
You didn't try to get that wrong number at all. I asked you explicitly, and all you did was dial correctly.
I am sorry. What number are you calling?
Well, can't you for once forget what number I'm calling and do something for me? Now, I want to trace that call. It's my civic duty, and it's your civic duty to trace that call and apprehend those dangerous killers. And if you don't...
I will connect you with the chief operator.
Well, please. All this talk can't make everyone understand. There's much time.
This is the chief operator.
Chief operator, I want you to trace a call, a telephone call, immediately. I don't know where it came from or who was making it, but it's absolutely necessary that it be tracked down because it was about a murder that someone's planning. A terrible, cold-blooded murder of a poor, innocent woman tonight at 11:15.
I see.
Well, can you trace it for me? Can you track down those men?
I am not certain. It depends.
Depends on what?
It depends on whether the call is still going on.
What?
If it's a live call, we can trace it on the equipment.
What?
If it has been disconnected, we cannot.
Disconnected?
If the parties have stopped talking to each other.
Oh, but of course they must have stopped talking to each other by now. That was at least 5 minutes ago, and they didn't sound like the type who would make a long call.
Well, I can try tracing it. May I have your name, please?
Mrs. Stevenson. Mrs. Albert Stevenson. But listen.
And your telephone number, please.
Plaza 32099. But if you go on wasting all this time...
Why do you want this call traced, please?
Why? Oh... Well, no reason. I mean, I merely felt very strongly that something ought to be done about it. These men sounded like killers. They're dangerous. They're going to murder this woman at 11:15 tonight, and I thought the police ought to know.
Have you reported this to the police?
Well, no, not yet.
You want this call checked purely as a private individual?
Yes, but meanwhile...
I am sorry, Mrs. Stevenson, but I am afraid we couldn't make this check for you and trace the call just on your say-so as a private individual.
But
we will have to have something more official.
Oh, for heaven's sake. You mean to tell me I can't report that there's going to be a murder without getting tied up in all this red tape? Why, it's perfectly idiotic. Well, all right, I'll call the police.
Thank you. I am sure that would be the best way.
Oh, ridiculous. I never heard of such nonsense. Police department. I can't see why you have to go through all this business. Oh.
Your call, please.
The police department. Get me the police department, please.
Thank you. Ringing the police department.
Oh, dear, do you have to dial? Can't you ring them direct? All this time waste.
Police Department, Precinct 43. Sergeant Martin speaking.
Police Department, this is Mrs. Stevenson, Mrs. Albert Smythe Stevenson of 53 North Sutton Place. I'm calling up to report a murder.
Huh?
I mean, the murder hasn't been committed yet, but I just overheard plans for it over the telephone, over a wrong number that the operator gave me. I've been trying to trace down the call myself, but everybody is so stupid. And I guess in the end, you're the only people who could do anything.
Yes, ma'am.
It was a perfectly definite murder. I heard their plans distinctly. 2 men were talking, and they were going to murder some woman at 11:15 tonight, and she lived in a house near a bridge. Are you listening to me?
Yes, ma'am.
And there was a private patrolman on the street. He was going to go around for a beer on 2nd Avenue, and there was some third man, a client, who was paying to have this poor woman murdered. They were going to take her rings and bracelets and use a knife. Well, it's unnerved me dreadfully, and I'm not well.
I see. Now, when was all this, ma'am?
About 8 minutes ago. Oh, then you can do something. You do understand.
What is your name, ma'am?
Mrs. Stevenson, Mrs. Albert Stevenson.
And your address?
53 North Sutton Place. That's near a bridge. The Queensboro Bridge, and we have a private patrol on our street. And 2nd Avenue is the next
what
street.
What was that number you were calling?
Murray Hill 40098. But that wasn't the number I overheard. I mean, Murray Hill 40098 is my husband's office. He's working late tonight, and I was trying to reach him to ask him to come home. I'm an invalid, and it's the maid's night off, and I hate to be alone, even though he says I'm perfectly safe as long as I had the telephone right beside my bed.
Well, we'll look into it, Mrs. Stevenson, and see if we can check it with the telephone company.
But the telephone company said they couldn't check the call if the parties had stopped talking. I've already taken care of that.
Oh, you have?
Yes, and personally, I feel you ought to do something far more immediate and drastic than just check the call.
Well,
what good does checking the call do if they stop talking? By the time you tracked it down, they've already committed the murder.
Well, we'll take care of it. Don't you worry.
I'd say the whole thing calls for a search. A complete and thorough search of the whole city. Why, I'm very near the bridge, and I'm not far from 2nd Avenue, and I know I'd feel a whole lot better if you sent around a radio car to this neighborhood at once.
And what makes you think the murder's going to be committed in your neighborhood, ma'am?
Why, I don't know. Only the coincidence is so horrible. 2nd Avenue and the patrolman and the bridge.
Well, 2nd Avenue's a very long street, ma'am, and you know how many bridges there are in the city of New York, not to mention Brooklyn, Staten Island, Queens, and the Bronx. Now, how do you know there isn't some little house on Staten Island, on some little 2nd Avenue you've never heard about? Well, how do you know they were even talking about New York at all?
But I heard the call on the New York dialing system.
Well, maybe it was a long-distance call you overheard. Telephones are funny things now. Now, look, lady, why don't you look at it this way? Supposing you hadn't broken in on that telephone call. Supposing you'd got your husband the way you always do. You wouldn't be so upset, would you?
Well, I suppose not. Only it sounded so inhuman, so cold-blooded.
A lot of murders are plotted in this city every day, ma'am. We manage to prevent almost all of them. The clue of this kind is so vague, it isn't much more use to us than no clue at all.
But surely
Unless, of course, you have some reason for thinking this call was phony or that someone may be planning to murder you.
Me? Oh, well, no, I hardly think so. I mean, why should anybody? I'm alone all day and night. I see nobody except my maid Eloise, and she's a big girl. She weighs 200 pounds. She's too lazy to bring up my breakfast tray, and the only other person is my husband Albert. He's crazy about me. He just adores me. He waits on me hand and foot. Has scarcely left my side since I took sick 12 years ago.
Well, then, there's nothing for you to worry about. Now, if you'll just leave the rest of this to us, we'll take care of it.
But what will you do? It's so late. It's nearly 11 now.
We'll take care of it, lady.
Well, will you broadcast it all over the city and send out squads and warn your radio cars to watch out, especially in suspicious neighborhoods like mine?
Lady, I said we'd take care of it. Just now I've got a couple of other matters here on my desk that require immediate attention. Good night, ma'am, and thank you.
Oh, you idiot! Oh, no. Why did I hang up the phone like that? Now you'll think I am a fool. Oh, why doesn't Albert come home? Why doesn't he? I'm operating again.
Your call, please.
Operator, for heaven's sake, will you ring that Murray Hill 40098 number again? I can't think what's keeping him so long.
I will try to get it for you.
Well, try. I don't see why he doesn't answer.
I am sorry. Murray Hill 40098 is busy. I will call you.
I can hear it. You don't have to tell me. I know it's busy. Oh, if I could only get out of this bed for a little while. If I could get a breath of fresh air and just lean out of the window and see the street. Hello, Albert? Hello? Oh, what's the matter with this phone? Hello? Hello? Oh, for heaven's sake, who is this? Hello? Who's trying to call me? What are they trying to do to me? Oh.
Your call, please.
Hello, operator. I don't know what's the matter with this phone tonight, but it's positively driving me crazy. I've never seen such inefficient, miserable service. Now, look, I'm an invalid. And I'm very nervous, and I'm not supposed to be annoyed. But if this keeps on much longer...
What seems to be the trouble?
Well, everything's wrong. I haven't had one bit of satisfaction out of one call I've made this evening. The whole world could be murdered for all you people care. And now my phone keeps ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing every 5 seconds, and when I pick it up, there's no one there.
I am sorry. If you will hang up, I will test it for you.
I don't want you to test it for me. I want you to put that call through, whatever it is, at once.
I'm afraid I cannot do that.
You cannot? Well, why? Why, may I ask?
The dial system is automatic. If someone is trying to dial your number, there is no way to check whether the call is coming through the system or not, unless the person is trying to reach you complains to his particular operator.
Oh, of all the stupid... And meanwhile, I've got to sit here in my bed suffering every time that phone rings, imagining everything.
I will try to check the trouble for you.
Check it. That's all anybody can do. Oh, what's the use of talking to you? You're so stupid. Oh, I'll fix her. Of all the impudent... How dare she speak to me like that? How dare she speak to me like that? I can't get any satisfaction. It takes so long to answer.
Your call, please.
Young woman, I don't know your name, but there are ways of finding you out. And I'm going to report you to your superiors for the most unpardonable rudeness and insolence it has ever been my privilege. Give me the business office at once.
You may dial that number direct.
Dial it direct? I'll do no such thing. I don't even know the number.
The number is in the directory. Or you may secure it by dialing information.
Listen here, you... Oh, what's the use? Oh, dear. Oh, for heaven's sake, I'm going out of my mind. I'm going out of my mind. Hello? Hello, stop ringing me. Do you hear? Answer me. Who is this? Do you realize you're driving me crazy? Who's calling me? What are you doing it for? Now, stop it, I say. Hello? If you don't stop ringing me, I'm going to call the police. Do you hear? The police. Oh, Albert would only come home. Oh, let it ring. Let it go on ringing. It's a trick of some kind. I won't answer it. I won't, even if it goes on ringing all night. Just ring all night. I don't... What's the matter? Why did they stop ringing all of a sudden? Oh, what time is it? Where's my clock? Oh, where is it? Where did I put it? 5 to 11. Oh, they've decided something. They're sure I'm home. They heard my voice answer them just now. That's why they've been ringing me. Why, no one has answered me. Call the operator again. Oh, wait. Oh, where is she? Why doesn't she answer?
Your call, please.
Where were you just now? Why didn't you answer it once? Give me the police department.
I am sorry. The line is busy. I will call you.
Busy? But that's impossible. The police department can't be busy. There must be other lines available.
The lion is busy. I will try to get them later.
No, I've got to speak to them now, or it may be too late. I've got to get to someone.
What number do you wish to speak to?
Well, I don't know, but there must be someone to protect people beside the police department. Detective agencies.
You will find detective agencies listed in the classified directory.
But I don't have a classified. I mean, I'm too nervous to look it up, and I don't know how to use it.
I will connect you with information. Perhaps they will be able to help you.
Oh, no. Oh, you're being spiteful, aren't you? You don't care, do you, what happens to me? I could die and you wouldn't care. Oh, stop it! Stop it! I can't stand anymore. Hello? What do you want? Stop ringing. Will you stop it?
Hello, is this Plaza 32099?
Oh. Yes, I'm sorry. This is Plaza 32099.
This is Western Union. I have a telegram here for Mrs. Elbert Stevenson. Is there anyone there to receive the message?
I am Mrs. Stevenson.
The telegram is as follows. Mrs. Elbert Stevenson, 53 North Sutton Place, New York, darling. Terribly sorry. Try to get you for last hour, but line busy. Leaving for Boston 11 p.m. tonight on urgent business. Back tomorrow afternoon. Keep happy. Love, signed Elbert.
Oh, no.
You wish us to deliver a copy of the message?
No. No, thank you.
Thank you, madam. Good night.
Good night. No. Oh, I don't believe it. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it, not when he knows I'll be all alone. It's some trick, some fiendish trick. It's some...
Your call, please.
Operator, try that Murray Hill 40098 number for me just once more, please.
You may dial that number direct.
Oh. M-U. Oh. Oh. 9. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, he's gone. Oh, Albert, how could you? How could you? Oh, but I can't be alone tonight. I just can't. If I'm alone one more second, I'll go mad. I don't care what he says or what the expense is. I'm a sick woman. I'm entitled to some consideration.
This is information. May I help you?
I want the telephone number of Henchley Hospital.
Henchley Hospital? Do you have the street address?
No, it's somewhere in the 70s. It's a very small, private, and exclusive hospital where I had my appendix out 2 years ago. Henchley, H-E-N-C-H.
One moment, please.
Please hurry. And please, what is the time?
You may find out the time by dialing Meridian 71212.
For heaven's sake, I've no time to be dialing.
The number of Henchley Hospital is Butterfield 89970.
You. 8, 9, 9, 7. Oh.
Henchley Hospital, good evening.
Give me the nurse's registry.
Who was it you wished to speak to, please?
I want the nurse's registry at once. I want a trained nurse. I want to hire her immediately for the night.
I see. And what is the nature of the case, madam?
Nerves. I'm very nervous. I need soothing and companionship. You see, my husband is away, and I'm all alone.
Have you been recommended to us by any doctor in particular, madam?
No, but I really don't see why all this catechizing is necessary. I want a trained nurse. I was a patient in your hospital 2 years ago, and after all, I do expect to pay this person for attending me.
We quite understand that, madam. But registered nurses are very scarce just now. Our superintendent has asked us to send people out only on cases where the physician in charge feels it is absolutely necessary.
Well, it is absolutely necessary. I'm a sick woman. I'm very upset. Very. I'm alone in this house, and I'm an invalid, and tonight I overheard a telephone conversation that upset me dreadfully. A woman's going to be killed when a train comes. In fact, if someone doesn't come at once, I'm afraid I'll go out of my mind.
I see. Well, I will speak to Miss Phillips as soon as she comes in.
Miss Phillips?
And what is your name, madam?
When do you expect her in?
I really couldn't say. She went out to supper at 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock? Oh, but it's not 11 yet. Oh, my clock has stopped. I thought it was running down. What time is it?
Just, 15 minutes past 11.
What was that?
What was what, madam?
That click just now in my own telephone, as though someone had lifted the receiver off the hook, off the extension telephone downstairs.
I didn't hear it, madam. Now, about this nurse.
I did. There's someone in this house, someone downstairs in the kitchen, and they're listening to me now. That is... Oh, I won't pick it up again. I won't let them hear me. I'll be quiet, and then they'll... Oh, but if I don't call someone now while they're still down there, there'll be no time. I've got to get to that operator. Oh, answer.
Your call, please.
Operator, I'm in desperate trouble.
I am sorry I cannot hear you. Please speak louder.
I don't dare. There's someone listening. Can you hear me now?
I am sorry.
Oh, but you've got to hear me. Oh, please, you've got to help me. There's someone in this house, someone who's going to murder me, and you've got to get in touch with the police. Oh, there it is. Did you hear it? He's put it down. He's put down the extension phone. He's coming up the stairs. Oh, give me the police department. Give me the police department.
One moment, please. I will connect you.
Hurry. Oh, hurry, I can hear him. He's coming here. Oh, no. Oh, what are you going to do to me? Oh, don't come near me. I haven't done anything, please. I don't know anything. No.
Sergeant Martin speaking. Police Department, Precinct 43, Sergeant Martin speaking. Hello, Police Department, Precinct 43, Sergeant Martin speaking.
Police Department?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Must have got the wrong number. Don't worry. Everything's okay.
Thank you, Miss Agnes Moorehead, for another memorable performance. Miss Moorehead will return in just a moment.
Say, Harlow, you got so wound up on Autolite resistor spark plugs a while back, you never told me whether you saw the state football game last week.
You bet I saw it. And say, did you notice the big gaps that State knocked in that enemy line?
Yes.
Reminded me of that wide gap in Autolite resistor spark plugs.
Now, Harlow.
You know, when you replace your old narrow gap spark plugs with wide gap Autolite resistor spark plugs, by Cornelius, your engine idles smoother, you have better luck with lean gas mixtures, actually save gas.
Harlow, I'm talking about football. Oh, by the way, how'd you like the way State's line cut down enemy interference?
Great. Almost as good as the way Autolite resistor spark plugs cut down spark plug interference with radio and television reception.
What a team. What a team.
Yes, friends, when it comes to team play, you really get it with those sensational new Autolite resistor spark plugs. Another Autolite engineering first. And no wonder, for Autolite resistor spark plugs are one of over 400 automotive, aviation, and marine parts made by the 26 nationwide Autolite plants, all famous for Autolite-engineered dependability. So, friends, don't dilly-dally, dawdle, or delay, but hop down tomorrow to your friendly Autolite dealer and get a set of wonderful new wide-gap Autolite resistor spark plugs. He's got just the type and size to fit your car. And, friends, remember, too, Autolite means spark plug.
Ignition-engineered resistor spark plug.
Autolite means batteries.
Stay full batteries.
Autolite means ignition system.
The lifeline of your car.
And now here again is Miss Agnes Moorehead.
My thanks to producer Tony Leader for affording me this opportunity to play Lucille Fletcher's wonderful story once again. And my thanks to the cast and the musicians and sound men who helped make it successful. The Suspense program will always hold a special place in my affections, and I'll be listening with great interest next Thursday when radio's outstanding theater of thrills brings us little Margaret O'Brien starring in Ray Bradbury's story, The Screaming Woman, another gripping study in
Suspense.
Agnes Moorehead has recorded Sorry, Wrong Number in album form. Miss Moorehead may currently be seen in the Warner Brothers picture Johnny Belinda. Music on tonight's Suspense play was composed by Lucien Morawek and conducted by Lud Gluskin. The entire production was under the direction of Anton M. Leader. In the coming weeks, Suspense will present such stars as Ronald Coleman, Rosalind Russell, Claude Rains, and William Bendix. Make it a point to listen each Thursday to Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills. And next Thursday, same time, hear Margaret O'Brien in The Screaming Woman.
This is the Autolite Suspense Show. Volunteers are needed for the armed forces of the United States. Your nearest recruiting station will have complete information. Good night. Switch to Autolite.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.